Hey guys and girls, Wager Detective here. Today's July 30th, 2026. We're going to go into a little debriefing on this Cubs versus Cardinals game. The Cubs are a minus, or Cubs are a plus 100, and the Cardinals are coming back at minus 118. And this is an interesting matchup. If you followed Wager Detective on Twitter, I dropped a thread on this game, yesterday's game before the game started, and the game played out how I expected it or how I wanted. And it was kind of eerie how Ivan Herrera was the guy that I said was going to be the X factor in that game, and then he hits an RBI double in the extra innings for them to win that game. So uh, as we look at this game, Cubs last game of a road trip. The Cubs are going to go back home after this game. Cardinals are going to hit the road after this game. So it's an interesting dynamic as far as the pitchers that are starting in this game. And let's get into this. The Cubs this year, they're 6-11 in road day games this year. 9 of those games have gone over and 8 have gone under, and they're a minus 11 run differential in that department. The Cubs are playing hot baseball. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games, and they're 12-8 in their last 20. And if we look at what they've done in July, they are 13-9, scoring 135 runs to 91. So um, playing good baseball, tough baseball, a team that could be dangerous in the playoffs depending on how their pitching is going to perform. And they're 5-4 in their last 9 games, plus 25 run differential. And today they're going to have Assad on the mound. He is 6-1 as a starter. He's 6-1 this year, record wise, with a 3.86 ERA. And in his last 5 games as a starter, he is 5-0. But I would caution that to say that those games came against teams that have a record of 238 and 303. So that's a 44% winning percentage. I've always liked Assad as a pitcher. In his last 5 starts, he does have 26 and a third innings pitched. He's given up 6 home runs. That's about that's 1.65 home runs per 9. So when you look at that, what's going on, Westus? Thank you for stopping by, man. I appreciate you. Wager Detective doing a little debriefing on this Cubs versus the Cardinals game. If you follow Wager Detective on Twitter and saw my post on that game, I most certainly called that game to a T. And Ivan Herrera was mentioned as the X factor in that game way before the game started. And ironically enough, or crazy enough, he ended up getting the RBI double in the extra innings of that game. So Assad's going to be on the mound this game the for the Cubs. And like I said, he's 5-0 in his last 5 starts, but they came against teams that have a 238 and 303 record. So I caution that. He is a home run liability. He's giving up 1.65 home runs per 9 on the season. And he did pitch against St. Louis this year. That was one of his wins. St. Louis had 0 earned runs in that game. He pitched 4 and 2/3 innings and only gave up 2 hits. So when you look at that, already automatically, I'm looking at this game as possibly. Hey, Beth, how are you? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. When you look at this game, I'm automatically looking at this game being an over. The over under is set at 8.5, and it is juiced to the under. So the books are taking either money in on that under or they're shading the under, expecting people to bet the under in that game. But if I'm looking at this game off the bat, um, no, I'm Spanish and Italian. That's my ancestry. That's and some Irish in there too. Westis, thank you, buddy. Thank you for stopping in. Just giving a debriefing for this Cubs Cardinals game, what to go to the window with, and get you prepared as far as who you think is going to win this game and where the edge lies as far as the numbers. Be sure to follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Set alerts on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Set alerts on Twitter. You never know when Wager Detective is going to drop a play or a lean. This is my passion. This is what I love to do. And we're capping this game. If you look at the Cubs, this is a situational angle where it could be a look ahead game. Now, they got the Yankees and the Dodgers on deck, and they're going to have no rest. Um, going into those games. So this could be a look ahead game for the Cubs, but I think they're going to want to take care of business against the Cardinals here to keep their foot on the neck of the Cardinals and the rest of that division because they're already chasing Milwaukee. So I think they're going to come into this game very well prepared as far as a mindset, even though there's a look ahead, but it's not divisional. It's the Yankees and Dodgers are going to be coming to town, and those are two great series if you're in the Chicago area to go check out um, for those games. So when we look at the Cardinals, they are a minus 118 today, but if we look at their home day splits, they are 7-13, minus 28 in home day games this year. They've lost four straight home day games this year. Cincinnati, Arizona, Atlanta, and Milwaukee. So two of those teams, or actually three of those teams, is kind of questionable. Um, Cincinnati being the one team they beat where it's understood, but Arizona, Atlanta, and Milwaukee clearly on par with as far as the Cubs and what they like to do. Now, don't mind me as far as being like, I'm just getting used to this live. So once I get into the groove of this and I get a better format, it's going to be better. But I'm just basically giving information as far as where I think you should bet. And if you're going to bet on this game, just the information to go to the window and have at least a little bit of an edge going into making any type of wager on these games. So Cardinals and home day games this year, 7-13, minus 28 run differential. They lost four straight home day games. They're 3-6 in their last nine, minus 15 run differential. Their last nine, they're only scoring 3.11 runs a game to 4.77 for their opponents. And Palante is going to be on the mound. Andre Palante, he is 11-6 this year with a 3.77 ERA in his last five starts. Uh, Even though the Cardinals are 2-3 in his last five, they do have a plus 14 run differential. They seem to hit for him when he's on the mound. Last five starts, he does have a 4.26 ERA with a 1.32 whip. So you can see why Wager Detective is looking at this game saying, you know what, maybe, just maybe, the over could be the strongest play here because the line is it's almost like a pick 'em in this game. And as we look at what the Cardinals do, when Palante's on the mound in the last five, again, they're scoring for him. But Palante does have a 4.26 ERA in his last five starts with a 1.32 whip. So with Assad and the quality of the competition that he's seen in his last five outings, he's going to see a better lineup than what he's used to and what he's seen in his last five starts. His last two outings, he has been a bullpen guy, but they're starting to work him into the rotation as the season progresses. If we look at Palante, he is six. The Cardinals are 6-6 when he starts at home this year, and he does have a 4.48 ERA with a 1.17 WHIP. He's only given up 6 home runs in his home starts this year, which is very, very good. But again, that 4.48 ERA will be tested today. That WHIP will be tested today against his Cubs lineup, especially after losing in a walk-off fashion last night. Now, if we look at day games after a night game, the Cardinals are 5-9 this year, minus 17 run differential, whereas the Cubs on a day game after a night game this year, they're 4-6 with a minus 7 run differential, and they're scoring for the Cubs. They're scoring 4.8 runs per game this year when they have a day game after a night game. So if we look at all this, we look at the Cubs and the bullpen and the Cardinals bullpen, I would say that the Cubs are a little bit more fresh as far as the relievers they got, but they got guys in that pen like Thornton and Hollowell and Rollison with elevated ERAs that can be a concern, and they're coming in a little bit more fresh, whereas the Cardinals, I would give them a C plus grade as far as the what they have in the pen. And again, the Cardinals are hitting the road after this game, but the Cubs have a look ahead spot where they got the Yankees coming to town. So it's not as much a look ahead game. If I was to grade this game for what I think is going to happen here, I do believe that this game, if you're going to take a side, I do believe the over is the stronger play, over 8.5 at a minus 102. Um, because I think both these teams could get to four runs apiece, which if they do, you're going to catch that total on the over. So, when you look at this and you're breaking it down, I will say that Um, Palante has seen the Cubs twice this year, and in both games they won. They won 6-5, and in one of the games this year they beat the Cubs 17-1 with Palante as the starter. When Palante started against the Cubs this year, 8 2/3, he's given up 13 hits, a home run, and 2 walks. So and 4 earned runs. So when you look at all those factors to go into this game, the Cubs are going to come out fired up. Yeah, I would look at the Cubs team total over. If you could get something reasonable, I would imagine that they're probably going to have the Cubs at either 3.5 or 4.5. I do think the Cubs are going to get over 4.5 here. Cardinals, I think they could get over 4.5. I definitely think this game is going over. So trying to keep it brief and short here. That's going to be the call here for Wager Detective. Anybody that tuned in or anybody that sees this video, be sure to follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Set alerts on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and as I get better at this live thing, which seemed a little daunting, but I kind of like the excitement of being able to give out this information because this is my passion. This is what I love to do. And capping sports is really the only thing that I feel like I'm great at in life. So be sure to share this video with other people, and let's try to get Wager Detective more into the algorithm, as they say. So my call here on this July 30th game, 2026, is to take the over 8.5 Cubs Cardinals game, and then also as far as the side, it's so tough. If I had to lean aside, I think that game where the I just think the Cubs bullpen's a little bit better. I think Assad, I like him as a pitcher. I'm not saying Palante's bad, but he does have a 4.48 ERA at home this year with a 1.17 WHIP, and I think the Cardinals will be able to get to the Cubs as well. But if you're looking for value, I would say the Cubs are probably I would probably take them in this game, and so. I was leading the Cardinals, but I'm looking at their bullpen. I'm looking at the fact that they're hitting the road after this game. One team's going to be hitting the road, one team's going to be going home. I like the team that's, going to be coming back home after a road stand. So if I'm looking at this game, I like the Cubs money line, and I like the over as my stronger play, over 8.5 in this Cardinals Cubs game. This is Wager Detective. Again, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And remember, Wager Detective loves all his fans, and I'll talk to you soon. Just a Dancer, thank you for stopping in, buddy. This was just a cap on the Cubs Cardinals game. Feel free to review it, share it with your friends, follow Wager Detective on all major platforms, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll talk to you soon.